We're going to devote our energies to sports and gardening, all the cultural pursuits as far as they're concerned. In fact, we're going to put the goons to sleep. Meanwhile, we dig.
Greetings, this is Byrne, the Anadromist, and coming to you from Tbilisi, Georgia. And I have a special update. I just want to tell you about something that has happened that's a bit problematic for me. And just to ask you to have patience while I try to wrap my head around it. Also give you an update on what's coming up on this channel and some of my others. So let's get the weird stuff out of the way first. It starts with this fact. Mail here in Georgia is extremely weird. There's something like, I've heard estimates between 1,200,000 people and 1,500,000 people here in Tbilisi, Georgia. No one has a mailbox, so we don't get regular mail delivery. How does that work? I don't know. And there are no mailboxes on the street corners. There are only 4 or 5 post offices in the entire city. They do have postal boxes, but they don't. I went to ask about one a few weeks back, and they said, no, we don't have any. So, I mean, they do, but there's none that are free. So, I tend to get my mail through this company called USA to Georgia, which is good because I get mostly packages, things like that. I do not get any letters. I wish I'd known that earlier. I didn't read the fine print that letters don't come here, nor would magazine subscriptions, which is good that I didn't renew a couple of magazine subscriptions. Well, anyway, then there's this fact. My bank card, the ATM card, a debit card, not a credit card, was expiring on January 31st, which it has, because this is no longer January 31st. And what happened was I contacted them a month and a half ago. I contacted my bank in Alaska, which requires me to wait up till pretty late at night to call them because they're 13 hours off from me during the winter. And I talked to them. They said, well, we need an actual handwritten statement from you saying that you're changing your address. Well, so I did that. And who knows how long it took for it to go from here to there. That is to say, mailing something from here takes 2 or 3 weeks to get to America. So it eventually got there. However, they then sent my new card to my old address, which I don't exist there anymore. And so it, I'm sure, just got lost in the mail. So I called them realizing, well, 3 weeks have gone by since I talked to them. And I talked to them around the 15th, or a little bit before the 15th of January. And I said, what's going on? Actually, it was more like the 10th of January. I said, what's going on? And they said, well, we mailed it out on, that's what I did. I called them on like the 13th. They said, we mailed it on the 12th. And I said, okay, I get it now. So then what they did was they said, okay, well, we've got a system. We're going to cancel that card that we sent to you, and we're going to start a new one for you. And I said, great. And so I gave them my USA to Georgia number. And then week upon week, 10 days went by, and I didn't get a card there. And so, lo and behold, I'm sitting there going like, okay, well, and then I went to my bank. I said, I better pull out some more money before the end of the month. And then the bank ate my card. The machine ate my card because it had been canceled it was the same card, basically. It's been canceled by the bank. So I'm waiting for the new card. Fortunately, all is not lost. I did open another bank account here, and I was looking forward to the day when one day I would be able to perhaps put money down on an apartment or a house. Well, so I've got enough money there to last a couple of months. Nevertheless, I called up the bank again and I said, so what's going on? And they said, oh, we mailed that. And I said, yeah, it didn't get there. And then I read the fine print on the USA to Georgia account, and it said no letters. So then I said, oh, okay. So I had to call and have them cancel that card. And then the only way it could get there is if it was in a Federal Express package. So I had it sent there. And then I called the next night. The woman I was talking to said, call again the next night to see if it went through. And I said, okay. So I called, and it hadn't. They hadn't done anything with it. And I didn't talk to the woman I'd talked to before. So a new woman said, okay, well, we're going to do this. And I said, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure that you can FedEx this to this place? And they said, yes. And you can take money out of my account. I said, whatever. Just get it there. So the money has been taken out of my account. I have assumed that it's on its way, and it hasn't arrived yet. It's been like 4 days, and it hasn't arrived yet. Which I'm not taking that as worry yet. Nevertheless, then there's a domino effect. So that means I can't really spend any money on anything except in Georgia for little things if I need to. But I can't access any of the money that I have in the bank. But then there are those of you, this is where it involves you, there are those of you who contribute regularly to the Anadromist. And here's the point. I went on PayPal yesterday. They said my account is expired because I don't have the bank card updated. And of course, I'm waiting for that. Meanwhile, I know that at least one or two people have probably not been able to pay. I don't know what's happening to those regular payments. I really have no idea. Are they just sitting in limbo waiting for me to come? Are they being simply canceled? Is PayPal going to say, well, this account therefore no longer does these things until I get the card? That is to say, is it like I have to start all over again? I don't know. If you are one of those people, especially for the first half of the month, though this could last longer, if you are one of those people who generously support me with a monthly little gift, well, look at, see if you get anything from PayPal saying, sorry, it didn't go through. If you do, let me know in the comments section here, because that would be important for me to know. I hope to never be in this situation again. I now know what to do, but unfortunately, hindsight is 20/20, and we can really leave that behind. But what about 21? So there you go. So here's the deal. Essentially, like I say, I am just waiting for this to come here. I'm waiting to resolve the situation with PayPal. I'm waiting to, just deal with everything. And, like I say, I may have, if things get weird, you may find me contacting you through, I have everyone's email who's contributed on a monthly basis. I may contact you and say, hey, can you start that up again? If you so choose. If you don't, that's fine. So, anyway, that's where that is. And I just want to explain that, especially if you get anything in the mail. Comment in this specific video. Okay, now the good news. That was bad news, wasn't it? Well, good news for those of you waiting for the next How We Got Here series, number 12, which will cover the beginning of the 21st century. And that will be coming probably within 2 weeks. I am finishing up a video on the art of the marionette, which I'm putting on my Gravity from Above channel, and you should check that out. Also, I just put on my Gravity from Above channel a really great interview with Thomas Prohaska, Czech puppeteer, and he's got some very interesting things to say about the nature of reality and how puppets are more real, more tangible. And as an art form, I can tell you this, we're all going to get mentally sick if we only operate with screens. You need to touch things. You need to have things. It's like when people tell me, yeah, I read all my stuff online, or I read it all through Kindle or whatever. I'm like, I I'm about as impressed as if you just told me you graduated the first grade. It's like, no, it doesn't do much. Learn to touch things, buy books, buy art, real art to hang on your walls. And I don't mean like tourist art, support people. If we want to care for this world, then we have to actually care for the physical world first. Let's see, what else? So yeah, check out what's going on. I also put out a 25-minute or 40-minute Erisioni dance and music practice video on there earlier in January. I've been doing more with that because I've decided one of the things I have to do this year is finish my Gravity from Above documentary, and I'm trying to remind people about it, which is why I'm doing more with it, because I need to raise a little bit more money for translations. I'm stuck because I've got things in Czech, Georgian, French, Italian that I don't have translated, and while I can probably lean on people to get something done, I'm just not that kind of person. I want to pay people for what they do. I've got a little plug at the back end of the videos, which basically say if you want the money to go to translation, say for translation in the notes. Meanwhile, Georgian Crossroads, I need to get on that again soon. I did put out a Infected Georgia at the beginning of the year, and that explains what's been going on here. And we are still in the endless lockdowns. We're still got curfew, still no metros or buses. Lots are closed. A few things are opening up this month, a few more stores, but you can't go to restaurants yet, and not till the end of February. So it's starting to. I think it's starting to get to everybody. It's just like, please, just let us get back to normal. Which, of course, it really depends on the statistics, I suppose. But I'm not going into all that. I'm not doing a political diatribe about this or that related to these things. Yeah. So, one other thing related to the Anadromist is I have coming up an idea which I'm going to do after I finish up the How We Got Here series. And it's going to be called Tourism and Reality. And I've had all these thoughts lately about tourism and how it kind of changes the nature of reality when people go travel. And I've got about it's going to be a 10 video series, and I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think a lot of people are going to find it, when you first think about it, it's like, tourism and reality, what are you talking about, Byrne? I think when you finally see it, you're going to go like, whoa, because I've found myself in specifically 3 different places where, I've been exposed to tourism. One is Georgia, and here in Tbilisi, they're trying to get their tourism working in a certain way. They have not achieved, say, the level yet of Prague or France or anything like that, and they want people to come. But of course that brings with it problems. Problems that, too, Prague in the Czech Republic has in spades. I mean, what's happened there since I first visited it in 2000 compared to what it is now, it's just like, whoa, what happened? It just blew up, but then it becomes way too crowded. And yet I love Prague, and so I'm going to discuss that in one episode. And then tourism in Alaska, which I've actually worked in. And I'm going to give you a bit of background and photos and images of all those things. And I think you'll find it pretty interesting. So that's coming up. Well, I've been talking quickly and talking a lot because I just want to make this short. And it's already probably a little longer than I want it to be. But you're used to that, aren't you? Thanks for all you folks who have contributed to the Anadromist. You really have kept me afloat. And the fact that it's like, oops, no money for a while, it's like, that's life. It's there's always something. Fortunately, my life doesn't exclusively depend on this, so I'm fine. But hey, it's the Anadromous life, swimming against the stream. Here we are. Do it yourself. I'll talk to you later with the real thing. How We Got Here, number 12.
A people without history is not redeemed from time. For history is a pattern of timeless moments.